Test. You know what? I'm gonna do something real quick. Here we go. That's the thumbnail I want to be using for this. That's the thumbnail we want. Okay. Send this out to Katie. Shout out to Katie, man. I want Katie to come do this with me, this pod, but I know she's busy with her own stuff. I just want to send it to her. All right, guys, find your inner pirate, baby. Arr! Hope everyone's having a great Sunday. Hope you're out there swinging your sword and you're just living life, baby. Just guess what? Find your inner pirate. This is a new frontier. New logo, new hairstyle for me, new type of podcast on YouTube Live. We've kind of been flirting with this stuff over the years, but we're going for it. We're trying to put this podcast on the map. So let's see what we can do. I want to use this time in between baseball and football to kind of get into some movie talk like we did last weekend with Whiplash. That was a ton of fun. And now Survivor, guys. Survivor is a heck of a show. It's probably my favorite reality TV show of all time. I'm a big reality TV guy overall. I love people. I love the drama. I love I just love these kind of shows, man. You get all these interesting personalities together on an island and they got to vote each other off and there's backstabbing, there's friendship. People have found love on this show. I mean, they've got married. Shout out to Boston Rob and Amber. I'm a Boston Rob guy. That's my dude. He's my goat. I know some will say Sandra, but Sandra has no physical game. To me, it is between Rob and Tony because they had the perfect blend of physical game and social game. And so, just going through all these contestants, which we're going to do here in a sec, I think we'll be able to dissect and see who we think's going to be good on this season. You know, and you never quite know, so that's why you got to tune in to watch. But this should be a lot of fun, guys. I want to do some reality TV type content. I also, I'm a sports guy at heart, but it really just comes down to me loving people, and this reality TV shit is so interesting, man. So I've been watching this show with my parents for a long time now. Um, since I was a kid. I even talked about my friend Katie. Me and her kind of bonded over that. College friend of mine. And so Survivor's just a cool show. It'd be fun to dissect these episodes after each episode. I'll probably come on here on a Sunday and kind of give my reaction to the show, and we can guess who's going to get eliminated next, and there'll be all sorts of stuff we can talk about, But For right now, this is going to be a Survivor season 48. Season 48. Wow. This is going to be a preview episode. So, when you talk about Survivor, we got to start off with Jeff, the host. I mean, guy is the best host of any reality TV show out there. He's just a pro's pro. And one thing Jeff will do that I just love, he'll rip you if he thinks you're quitting. And sometimes these people get out there and they just can't handle it and they try and quit. Jeff will give him a little kick in the ass, and he's just a great host. He knows how awesome the game is, and he knows what it takes, and so he doesn't put up with the bullshit. And you're gonna run into that, with humans. So Jeff, we gotta shout him out, man. He's at tribal councils, really, when he comes to life too. He's always poking and prodding, and he's just a pro's pro. So shout out to Jeff. And also, before we get to the cast, I watched the trailer for this season. Feels like it's going to be a really cool cast, guys. I'm excited. There's at least one instance where medical is going to get called in during the season, so hopefully it's nothing too serious, but you will see that on Survivor. Because they don't want you to die, of course, But they do. It is hands off. It's really, you're out on the island and no devices, no technology, no nothing. Just being a human and trying to figure out how to survive out there. So this is a great show, guys. It really is. It's got great history. I haven't been as into the newer seasons as a lot, but they're still really good. And I think, over the years, it feels like they've added too much gimmicky stuff in a way, but that's okay. It's still a great show. I like the hidden immunity idols, but then they had like these token coins for the all winner season, and Sandra and Rob were all. I mean, they'll bring back some legends every once in a while, and I think they're kind of due for that again. But I think it's 18 members, guys. So let's get into it, and no former cast members here, all new people. So we'll start here with Stephanie, right here in the blue white dress, former school teacher. But she works in the tech industry in New York City now, so that's pretty cool. She's a self-proclaimed talker, and she's going to be a social game player from what I can gather. She might have the right business sense, to go far in the game, living in that tech world, but I think her mouth might get her in some trouble if she comes on too strong. She says they better not let her anywhere close to Final Tribal, or she's going to talk the jury into giving her the $1 million. So good for her. We'll see how she does. 20 or 38, I believe, New York girl. And again, I don't know why the browser turned black on me. I can't do anything about it, guys. I'm sorry. But at least you can still see the pictures of everybody. Next up is Shaheen. Great beard. Just first impression. I mean, just a thick, lush, beautiful beard. Says he's a non-contact sports guy, which kind of shocked me with that beard, but he says he's a really sensitive guy, and I really like what he said about, what he's going to look for in an alliance member. He wants a strategist that can kind of keep him focused and can kind of call him out for his harebrained ideas. So a real outside-the-box thinker. He's going to need someone to tell him that he's stupid. He's going to need someone that's going to give him the real. And that's kind of what he was talking about in his bio. So he's pretty self-aware. He's going to give us some good content. I'm rooting for Shaheen. Who we got next? Let's see. We got Eva next. Really cool. She's very open about being autistic, and I have a nephew that is on the spectrum, so that's just some really inspiring stuff to see, for all the kids to see that out there, that you can do anything you want. You're on the spectrum. It does not matter. You can't let anybody tell you can't do X, Y, and Z. So this is a really cool thing Survivor's doing, having an autistic person. And who knows, they've probably had an autistic person in the past. Maybe they're not diagnosed, or they're not as comfortable or open about it as Eva is. But this is really cool, and she's doing a lot out there for people on the spectrum, and I hope she goes far. She's has an interesting background, guys. She's the first woman to play men's hockey at Georgia Tech, and now the captain of the men's hockey club team at Brown. I mean, that's incredible. She's competitive and loyal, which could lead to an early exit if she's too trusting. That's something she's going to have to be mindful of. Very interested to see how she addresses her autism with the other tribe mates and just the kind of dynamics around that. Will they feel bad voting her out? If I was her, I would kind of casually mention it to somebody, kind of plant that seed in their head. You got to do in Survivor. It's cutthroat. You got to use any kind of advantage you got, and so she could go far if she plays her cards right. Just kind of casually mentioning it, kind of, and subconsciously the other tribe members may not want to vote her out. So interesting for Eva. I'll be rooting for her extra hard. Okay, next we got, what's his name? Kyle. Shout out to all the Kyles out there. With Kyle, he's a really cool guy. An attorney. He's a confident dude. We'll see if he's a little too brash though, and that could turn some of his tribe mates off, I guess. But he said he said a player he really identifies with is Jay from Millennials versus Gen X season, and that's one of my favorite contestants of all time. Jay didn't win, but he was one, and not just because his name's Jay, but I liked him a lot. I thought he was one of the cooler guys to go on Survivor. So if he's anything like Jay, he's going to be a ton of fun. Confident guy, like I said. He's just going to have to make sure he doesn't turn the tribe mates off and come in too hot. But yeah, that Millennials Gen X season, go watch that one, guys. That's one of my favorite seasons. Just the dynamics, great cast. Keep it moving. We got Mitch Guerra. From Waco, baby. Little Texas guy. Has a speech impediment. Hope that doesn't hold him back at all. He's going to have to play kind of an under-the-radar type game, I think, for this really to work. I don't see him being like a leader of the tribe necessarily, or an alliance. He's a PE coach, sports guy, so I can relate to him with that. Be rooting for him. I don't see him going very far, and but I reserve the right to change my mind depending on what his speech impediment really is like. And first episode, see how he acclimates to everything. But Mitch, I don't know, man. I think it could be a tough time for you out on the island. And they're going to be in Fiji, by the way. I think they go to Fiji a lot. So the beach looks amazing back there. Next up, we got Sai. Now, her whole thing is about her bio. She wants to show out for other women of color, and that's great. That's a very noble thing. But is that enough for her to dig deep, to do what it takes to win this game, to become sole survivor? I'm skeptical. She works in marketing, so she's going to be able to know what people are thinking and what their kind of moves are. If she can stay a step ahead, she's going to be a really good social player. She said she does not like when someone says the word moist or people who pronounce the word salmon wrong. So I feel her on that, but inevitably I think Sai's going to get annoyed by someone, and that could kind of torpedo her game. So I don't see her going far, to be honest. Okay, keep it moving. We got Joe. Fire captain, love it. Thank you for your service, Joe. He describes himself as a courageous, compassionate, loving, and kicking ass dad. Hell yes, Joe. I love it, man. And his sister is his biggest reason he's playing. She was a super fan. and she was taken from him with domestic violence. I guess one of her significant other did something, and he never said she was dead, but just kind of the bio, he made it seem like she's not around anymore. I couldn't get a real clear answer on that, but I think it's important to bring up because there's his sister's the main inspiration why he's doing the show. So I think that's pretty cool. Um, he said he doesn't like bad hugs and people who don't look you in the eye, which who doesn't not like bad hugs? And you got to look people in the eye. And so his loyalty might get the best of Joe here. He's not going to be dynamic enough to win. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to have to win challenges, and you know he's if he can do that, not ruffle many feathers, I think he can go far. But I don't see Joe winning. Okay, this is Camilla. Now Camilla, she says she feels like the world has kind of been working against her, but she keeps a positive attitude, which you got to respect. Now, I wonder how positive is the attitude going to be when she's hungry out on the island and has no bed to sleep on? Is she going to keep that same positivity? Or is she going to just think the world's out to get her and not form strong bonds out there and be an early exit? She kind of feels like an under the radar type of player from what I can tell. She's 5'1", and there's nothing wrong with being short, but she's just not going to be able to compete in many challenges. So I don't know. To me, she does her bio and just reading, she's kind of like the least interesting character on the season for me. But who knows? We'll see how far Camilla can go. Okay, David. Now, David, he's a Cali dude from Long Beach. Just he's a stunt man. That's badass. And you got to think he's going to be a challenge beast. But does his brain work? That's always the trade-off with these challenge beast type guys like Ozzy. Can do anything outdoors, can do any sort of challenge, but do they have the social capacity to build a strong alliance and keep strong alliances? That's always the trade-off with some of these challenge beast types. So, yeah, I'm looking at you, Ozzy, and that's what I was mentioning earlier at the beginning of the pod. That's what made Boston Rob my GOAT, is he could do the challenges. I just go back to the season he won. I mean, he really won the first season he was on, but his wife now Amber won because Rob was a little too cutthroat for what the game was back then. But then it eventually evolved into really what Rob was playing. They let him go back in, and then he just dominated a bunch of newbie members. The social game, he won like this one challenge he had to win, or he was gonna get voted out. Was this one where he had to carry a bunch of shit up this terribly long flight of stairs, and he just gutted it out, and it was one of the cooler TV moments of my life. And I just say that because Boston Rob, that's my guy. Tony as well. Tony, he's right there with Boston Rob, 1A, 1B for me, because Tony won the all winter season. So, and yeah, Sandra, Sandra didn't do anything challenge wise, so I never really respected her. I know she won twice, and she is one of the legends, Hall of Fame Survivor player, but yeah, she's not my GOAT. And so with David, is he going to be cutthroat enough to be the sole survivor? I don't know. He's just going to have to win some challenges and find the right people around him, I think. Okay, let's see. Okay. Next up is Thomas. Now, this is another Texas boy here. Really cool background. He's a music executive, and that's chill. I love how all these guys on the contestants, they all name loyalty as one word they could describe. They all say loyal. We'll see how loyal they actually are when they're out here trying to win $1 million. So it's just funny. With Thomas, I think his loyalty, and kind of like I was just talking about, these people are too trusting. There could be some great blindsides this season. There really could. And a blindside, for those who haven't watched Survivor, when you're going around camp and there's a plan in place and everybody knows, but really there might be one or two or three masterminds at work that are fixing to pick somebody off you don't see coming. And that's one of the cool things about Survivor. That you see that a lot. So Thomas, he could get blindsided for sure if he's too loyal. He's got to find the right alliance. To be in the music industry like he is, you got to be pretty forward thinking. So I think he could be a leader of a group. He gets reality TV. He says he loves Real Housewives, and I hope he gives us some good content. He's a city boy, and it might feel like a culture shock for him out there in Fiji. But I'll be interested to see kind of how he builds the fort camp in camp day one. He may not be good at that stuff, and I can definitely relate. If I ever get on Survivor, that's going to be the thing I suck at the most is building stuff and just having to live outside. I'm a city kid too, kid too. So get some water. Yeah. Anything else I got on him? He's a self-proclaimed college football junkie, so I want to see him go far because I am too. So we'll see. We'll see how he can do with the physical stuff. Okay, we got Kevin up next. Now, Kevin, he feels like a really well-rounded person, from what I can gather from his bio. He credits his time at Abercrombie and Fitch as a model for knowing how to be likable. What a douche! He's going to be a charmer, and that can go both ways, but he needs to align himself with the hottest woman on the island. I think that's the way Kevin's got to play. Find the most attractive female out there and do a little power couple thing to go far. I think that could be a strategy he could employ depending on what tribe he gets on. Yeah, that's all I got for Kevin. Just an Abercrombie model. He's just a simple guy. He's good looking and he knows what he's doing. So we'll see. I think he can align himself with a pretty girl. Cedric McFadden. Just a good name. I like that name. Cedric is a surgeon. Wow. So, looks like he's an A1 nerd. Not surprised he's a surgeon. Will he have the social skills to go far? He likes jigsaw puzzles. He's a problem solver. He could be a real weapon to have in an alliance. He really could. Now, that can go both ways. He's the kind of cat I'd want to have on my side. He's a deep thinker. I won't be surprised if he's kind of the mastermind to some degree in this game. But if he shows any sort of charisma or social game, he might be my pick to win. I just can't tell from reading his bio what he's really like. But Cedric's the guy I got my eye on. He might be my pick to win. Okay, Charity. Now, Charity's kind of the girl I think Kevin should hook up with. I think she might be the most attractive female this season. Love the leg tat. Love the arm sleeve. Yeah, she's a flight attendant from Michigan. I feel like I get along pretty well with Charity. Mention the tattoos. She's another contestant that describes herself as loyal. And, I love that, but really, you're not going to be loyal out on the island. So we'll see. She described her job pretty interesting way. She said, I love this. She said, being a flight attendant feels like I'm playing Survivor in a tube daily. With all the personalities, all the humans on board. That's hilarious. Made me laugh. She lost 100 pounds also, so good for her. And she says she can sing. So she just sounds like she's got a good head on her shoulders, and she's going to enjoy every moment she gets out there on the island. So I'm pulling for Charity. Good pick by the producers to get her on the show. I think she's going to be really good. Let's see. Justin. Now, this is the guy I'd probably be best friends with. out here on the island. Justin, he's my age, a Northeast guy, a pizzeria owner, great flow. He loves horse racing and sports talk radio. I mean, he's definitely a gambler. You gotta love it. I would be boys with him, no doubt. Um, he says he wants an alliance member he can bounce ideas off of. So that's yep. I'm kind of the same kind of guy. Those are my best friends, the ones I can kind of bounce ideas off of, and it helps with this creation, content creation stuff, and it just helps in life too to kind of bounce ideas off people. So Justin, me and him see eye to eye, and uh, I think he's going to be a conversation starter out there on the island. I think he's going to be calling some shots throughout the game if he gets the right people on his side. And I'm all in on Justin, man. Justin is my guy. I'm going to be heartbroken if he gets booted early. So hopefully he gets a good run. All right, next we got Bianca. Now she's a businesswoman, built her own public relations company, and you got to respect the shit out of that. Just having the entrepreneurial mindset. She's gonna be a seller and she's gonna be a convincer out there. So she could be a really valuable member to any alliance. Bianca, I think she's gonna go far if she plays her cards right. She went to roller coaster camp as a kid. How the heck do I sign up for that? Where's that been my whole life? That roller coaster camp. That sounds like the best time ever. You know, I need to find out how to sign up for that. If like they have an adult version of that, like yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm going to roller coaster camp for the summer. So maybe we'll get there someday. I mean, and if they don't have that, what are we even doing? Like, there's not a roller coaster camp for us, then what are we even doing here? So yeah, I think Bianca, she's got what it takes. Okay, Chrissy, I think she's the oldest woman out here. She's 55. She probably is the oldest contestant, man or female. Um, a fire lieutenant in the south side of Chicago. Mad respect for Chrissy. What a profession. What a location. You know, she's probably going to be the most athletic female out here from what I can tell. She says she's a cardio fan, a self starter. She can play the game really well, the social game. If she can do that, you know, being the oldest one out there, if she can relate to these younger people out here and build a social game, she's going to go really far too because her profession, just the grit she's got to have, she's going to be good contestant out here, especially in the challenges, I think. I do worry about the social stuff. I hope I'm wrong, but I mean, she was a high school dropout, guys, and she's found herself on Survivor, the biggest reality TV show we have, and she's a fire lieutenant in the south side of Chicago. It's just amazing. What a life she's lived. So, yeah, I think it'd be incredible if Chrissy won. It would really be something if she won Survivor. From where she started to here, that would be an amazing story. So shout out to Chrissy. Okay, up next is Star. Star could be a character, guys. I think she's gonna give us some good ass content here. She's a sales expert. Describes herself as smooth, laugh out loud, funny, and hilarious. She's a character, big personality. When they asked her what her greatest accomplishments were, she listed being on Survivor over the birth of her own son, whose name is Silver Dash Mars. So I guess their whole family, they're just named after the space. That's okay. The solar system's badass. Um, it's just funny. She listed her biggest accomplishment. The first thing she said was being on the show, and then her birth of her son. So I think she might drive some other contestants crazy. I don't think she's gonna win. I think she's too big of a personality. She'll probably get herself in trouble. I thought that was funny, man. And this is our last contestant here, Mary. Last but not least, from Philadelphia, works as a substance abuse counselor. That's amazing. Her ability to relate to a wide range of personalities is really going to serve her well in this game. She's someone I want on my side, for sure. Like a lot of contestants, if Mary gets the right people on her side, she's going to go far. So she sounds like a real grinder. She might actually be my female pick to win. And I think that's going to be my official pick, Mary. I'm going to pick one woman to win. I think it'll be Mary. And the man, I'm going with Cedric. Going with Cedric. I just think he's got the surgeon brain. If he's got the social skills, now I can change it again if I see first up. That's why we're going to be doing these episodes every week, so I can kind of see how my opinions have changed on these people, and we'll break down all the action from episode 1. So Cedric and Mary, those are my two picks, male and female. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, these once a week, Find Your Inner Pirate, it's back. You never know what you're going to get in your feed when you click on the podcast. You might get a Survivor season preview. You might get some hardcore football talk with me and Porter. Hell, me and my other buddy Drew, we could get on here and talk fucking college wrestling. You never know. So that's kind of the vision I have for Find Your Inner Pirate. That's why I never titled my podcast like a sports. I'm doing a Jay Johnson sports show, but that's separate from this podcast. Find Your Inner Pirate's all about swinging your sword and just being you. Just be a pirate. You know, we're all pirates. Just be one. It's a lot better way to live. So, shout out to everybody that tuned in. Like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, on Spotify. You know, hit me up. Hit me up what you like. If you have any tips for stuff, I'm always here to improve. I want this to be a big thing. So, this was a ton of fun. And, yeah, I don't think I got anything else before I cut. We'll be back doing some stuff I'm sure here soon. So, all right, find your pirate, baby.